Hi guys, this is Karen. Welcome to another video. Well, I look a bit white. Well, that's because of my mineral sunscreen, which makes me really white. As hard as I'm trying to absorb it, it looks really white. I'm not sure I'm just such a fan of this SPF, but we're going to pass that. And this video is going to be all about reusing same things for other purposes. So I am going to do my whole face only with 4 products. Yep. When one of them is going to be mostly used. So let's give it a go. And I really like these kind of videos where you can take whatever you have and use it for other purposes. These are videos that I really like doing, and I'm kind of doing it on my own, on my everyday basis when I'm applying my makeup. So let's just get started. And I just want to welcome whoever is new to my channel. First of all, welcomed. I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell. And let's just start. First, we need a base. We're going to use concealer as our makeup, foundation, as our foundation, as our concealer, and as our eyeshadow base. I picked this one. This is from e.l.f. This is the oh my god, hydrating camo hydrating camo concealer. It looks like this. It's been through a lot. I think it's at the end of its days, but I enjoy using it. I think it's a very good drugstore option for concealer. Now, I already done my skincare, so I haven't primed or anything. I'm just using my concealer. I usually use my concealer to conceal my under eye area, and I just apply, I look down and apply a tiny bit here and a tiny bit here. And for me, that's enough as a concealer. But if I want to apply it also as foundation, I need to amp it up. So I'm going to add some to my forehead and also to my cheeks. Not a lot. To my nose. Now, as you can see, this is the same color as my skin, so it's important to choose for this hack a concealer that looks similar to your skin tone and not take a brightening concealer, because that way you will be whiter than I was, or I will be. I'm just taking my sponge and blending it away. Now, I'm not going to do my under eye area with the sponge, just everything else on my face. This should give me very light coverage, nothing too covering. I'm not going to cover all of my skin. I'm not going to have high coverage, of course, foundation, because first of all, this is a concealer, it's not a foundation, and second, I don't want it to give me very high coverage. If I wanted high coverage, I would have used just a foundation. But this is just for everyday looks when you're very stressful, you don't have a lot of time. Oh my god, this SPF is horrendous. So I'm just taking it to my neck as well. Just very thin coverage. My skin still pops. You can still see it. Then my under eye area is going to be with my finger, because this is the way I love doing things. I have mature skin, my under eye area has lots of wrinkles, and I find that when I apply it with my finger, it's less worse. Let's be honest. It's not perfect, but it's less horrible. Just, well, I wanted to say just a tiny bit, but this one is very thick. Reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape with the consistency. So I wanted to take a small amount, but never mind, the sponge will absorb the excess, because this is what sponges do, basically. Absorb liquid. Okay, so we use the concealer for the foundation, concealer and eye primer. Now, the second product is going to be everything else, almost everything else. And I chose this one from ColourPop. This is the One and Done eyeshadow palette. And I'm sure you can understand why I picked it. It has browns and pinks. Get it? Browns for brows and bronzer, pinks for my blush and lips, and a highlighter. There's a shimmery white here that can be a highlighter, or this one can double as a highlighter bronzer, and of course I can do my eye look with this palette. So one and done. This is just, I couldn't have picked a better name for an eyeshadow palette. One and done. This is almost everything you need. So again, we said 4 products to do the entire face. This one is going to be number 2. So I'm usually do not powder. So if you really need to powder, because of course it depends on your skin type. If you really need to powder, then powder. Do powder, and it will be 5 things. But it's best to powder if you need it. I do not. It's still winter and I don't need to powder. If I would, it will be 5 things. Okay, first of all, I want to bronze. Now these have, for eyeshadow palette, has relatively large pans, so it's comfortable. So I have 3 options for bronzer. I'm going to start with the lightest one because I want to see how it is. The shade is Bingo. And let's see, I'm just taking my regular bronzer brush, so it's easier to dip it in because, again, the pen sizes are a bit large, and this is why I kind of chose this palette. So I'm just going to apply my bronzer. It turned out a very good shade. Well, better than I thought anyways. This is the, yeah, this is the bronzer brush. No, it's a bit, well, it is very, very orange. So if you don't like orange, then maybe we can take the second one, which is the West. So I chose this one now, and I think I'm going to go over this one, the West. It looks darker, but I do like a darker bronzer. Okay, this is much better. Of course, I'm going to go over it a bit with a sponge in a sec. Of course, I have to do my forehead, and I'm dipping into the West, which is the middle shade. Of course, if you're darker and you need a darker bronzer, you have the darkest shade of all, Gold Digger, which is a very dark brown. So if you have a palette that has browns and it has pinks or reds, and it has a shimmery white or a shimmery gold, it can work as well. I need to blend this. Of course, it's too... Wait, what, my hair? What do you want from me? Hair. So you don't have to use this palette. If you don't have it, you can use any other palette that you have that has browns and pinks or browns and reds, like I already said, and of course something shimmery to highlight. Pretty good job. Let's take the sponge and just to define this area here because I went too low. I didn't add anything to the sponge, just tapping it. Okay. Okay. It's a bit out there, it's a bit bold, but I kind of sorry, I kind of like it. I think it's a bit strong, but that can work. That can definitely work. Just if you have, well, if you think it's too much, you can just take your sponge and blend it a bit more. Now for blush, of course, we're going to use one of the pinks. We have this white pink, which is very, very bold. We have, oh, sorry, this light pink. We have this shimmery dark pink, and this one is a gold to pink, which can double as a highlighter, as a highlighting blush lighter, whatever that is called. Let's just, you know, swatch them. I'm starting with the light matte pink spore thing. Names, maybe rodeo names. And the dark, very dark pink matte, and then the dark pink shimmer, and then the light shimmer. You bet. Let's put it here. Very creamy. Okay, now looking at these, okay, I'm looking at the shadows and I'm kind of thinking these two can double as a blush lighter, so we don't need to go with these two. I think I'm going to start with this one, and if it's not strong enough I will add this one. So I'm taking my blush brush and dipping into You Bet, which again, You Bet is this one. So I swatched this dark, this, okay, the order was this light matte, dark shimmer, light shimmer, and I'm taking this one, You Bet. Let's see how it will be. I don't think I need anything else. This is great as a blush and a highlighter. So we're reusing the same product, and oh, wow. And you know, the great thing about it is now that I will do my eyes and I will use the similar shades, it will look cohesive. Wow, that turned out beautifully, even more than I thought. Now, of course, if you like more highlight, you have this Cowgirl here. You have this option, you can add it. Let's just swatch it first. Let's swatch it here on my knuckles. So it's a very white to yellow. I'm not so sure it's going to work, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, it just gives you a bit more glow. Now I'm definitely glowing. So it depends on your likings. If you like something a bit more neutral, then don't add more highlight. But if you like to be beaming from outer space, so aliens from outer space, aliens from outer space will be able to see your highlight, then definitely add more, like I did. I think this look is turning to be great. Next up are brows. Where is my brow pencil? Here. Let's take a brow pencil, and well, we have, well, it's, of course it depends on the shade that you're looking for. I'm going to go with this light brown. If it will be too light, it's called City Limit. If it's going to be too light, then maybe I will go with one of the others. But I think there are two as we saw, too orangey, and I'm kind of okay. This is not really my shade. No, this is not going to work out like I thought, but maybe I'll take from the darkest one. So we'll start with this shade, which is a light brown, just to give it a bit more color, because I want to add from the darkest one, but just a small amount. So I want to have first a base, and then I will add to it the darkest. So I use this one, and I'm going to add from this one because these are too warm. Apparently this one is also warm. It doesn't look warm in the pan, but it is. This is the dark brown, which looks like it's going to work out. So I am going to add some pretend brows and pull it to the end like this. Working slowly because I don't want to have mistakes. You know, brows kind of shape your entire face, and when they're off, they're off. And it's, you know, you need to take everything down and start over when they're off. And I'm just filling in my brows. So when you're choosing an eyeshadow palette for this, then do look for one that has a color for your brows, like I did. Well, I thought maybe this one will do. I don't know why I thought that. This is definitely too light. This is definitely a shade for me, but of course you need to see to choose an eyeshadow palette that kind of works for you. Let's do an eye look now, because it's an eyeshadow palette. Whoa, I know, shocking. I'm going to take Lasso, which is this light brown here, and use it on my, well, above my crease, kind of as a transition shade. I'm not going to do anything special with the eyes today, because this is not the purpose of the video. But this palette can also be for Valentine's, because it has lots of beautiful pinks. And now again, I'm going to go with the darkest brown, this dark brown, in my outer corner, because this is usually my signature look or technique when doing eyeshadows. This is what I usually do. I do a very light transition shade, something dark in the outer corner, and then some shimmers. So I'm just blending the brown. I wanted to say blue, I don't know why. It's definitely not a blue. I have an eyebrow here. Why did I move it with this? God knows. I'm going to cover this with shimmer eyeshadow. For shimmer eyeshadows, I have this one or this one. Of course, I also have the pinks that I already swatched. Let's just swatch them. This is one shade. This is called, I don't know, Cotalius, something like that. And High Horse, it is more of a gold. Okay, for the look today, don't know if gold will do. Maybe we'll go with this shade that I applied to my cheeks. I think that's only appropriate to tie things together. So this was You Bet that I used as my bronzer, blush, duo, and this is a beautiful eyeshadow. Gorgeous. Just with my finger I'm dabbing it. Okay, for the middle shade. The middle shade is this shade. I just want to shade for the inner corner, and maybe we'll go with this one. Will that do? No, I don't think so. I thought maybe this one, but no, it will kind of ruin the look. So why not go with the highlighter, with Cowgirl, the white highlighter that we used, which is very, very pigmented, and you really need a tiny bit of it. Beautiful shade. And I kind of used all the shades that I already used on my face as my face products on my eyes, which is almost. I didn't use Lasso on my face. Lasso was the transition shade, but I used Lasso, and then I used this one, and then I used this one, and then I used this one. Same shade that I used on my face. Now this one is going to double also as my lipstick color, and I'm going to go with the very pigmented pink matte on my lips. Yeah, can you hear that? The sound of my dry lips. Of course you can choose other shades. I could have chosen one of the browns for a nudie look, which I think would have been better. But I really wanted to do something pink. Okay, this is it. This is everything we're going to use from One and Done. I'm telling you, One and Done, what a perfect name. Now, I need, of course, a mascara, which is going to be product number 3. So, ooh, look at my fingers. So I'm using this one from Nude Sticks. I need a mascara. I don't think that I can use eyeshadows. If I had a black eyeshadow as a mascara, I don't think it will work, but maybe eyeliner can double as a mascara. But I don't wear eyeliners, but that's an option. If you're already doing an eyeliner, then it can double as a mascara. It's just going to be more work. But if you're tight on space, maybe you're traveling and you need to travel light, and you really need to pick a few items, then in my opinion these 4 are enough for you. Of course, if you need to powder, then it's going to be 5, or you can find a palette that has an eyeshadow that looks like your powder, but I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. I think a powder is a powder because usually you use translucent powders. Okay, last product for the lips. I need a gloss. I need something on top, so I'm using this one from Maybelline, the Lifter Gloss in 002. I'm just applying it on top of the eyeshadow. Like that. Of course this one got dirty. I need to kind of take off. I don't want it to be too pink when I put it back. I want to keep it in this beautiful color, which is almost clear. So I can take the leftovers and go down if needed. This is a pretty shade of lip gloss. Together it looks great. Okay, so this is the final look. I think it turned out beautifully. I definitely like the idea of using this shimmery pink to gold as my blush lighter. It looks amazing. I topped it with another shade for highlighter, but you don't really need to. It would have been enough just to keep it simple with the blush lighter. And the bronzer looks great, and the brows looks great, and I love the lips, even though they're very, very strong. I think it turned out beautifully. Of course, we could have chosen one of these browns and make it into a nude lip, but that's of course personal preferences. I think my look turned out beautifully with only 4 products, and you know, we mainly use this one and the concealer. The gloss, well, of course it's optional if you don't mind your lips to be so matte, but I wouldn't recommend. So maybe a lip balm if you don't like a gloss on top, or because, you know, otherwise it will look a bit too dry in my opinion. And mascara, well, of course, but if you're also using, as I said, an liquid eyeliner, it can double as a mascara. Keep that in mind. Okay, so this is the finished look. Let me know what you think. Do write something in the comment section down below. Do you like this kind of videos? Would you like me to come up with similar one in the future? Do let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, ooh, look at these beautiful swatches. This is a gorgeous palette, it really is. So enjoy this palette, enjoy this. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Enjoy my family here on YouTube, and don't forget to write something in the comment section down below. I really love reading your comments. That's a lot of fun, reading your comments basically. So if you stayed all this way till the end, then do write something. I would highly appreciate it. Okay, I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.